Good evening, everyone. Today we are having another wonderful session with Sir Srinivasan Kalyanaraman, sir. We don't need a special introduction for my channel followers because we have done many sessions with Srinivasan, sir. And for the people who came newly, I'm giving a little introduction to him. He is director in Saraswati Research Center and also president of Ramasetu production movement in India, member of the board of directors of the World Association for Vedic Science. So I am introducing Sir. Good evening, sir.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram, sir.
Narayanam namaskritya naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim chaiva tato jayamudirayan. You can start the...
Yes, sir. I am starting the presentation. Just a second. I will be in backstage, sir. Please continue your session. If you need anything, I will be in backstage.
Okay. Today's session is about Caṣālayūpa. Caṣālayūpa is a very remarkable tradition which dates to the Rig Veda. A yupa is a ketu, which means an indicator, a signal that a yagna was performed. One of the yagnas is called Soma Yagna. It's the principal yagna of the Rig Veda, referred to as Atma Yagnasya. We have found archaeological evidence for such a Soma Samstha Yagna in Binjor, Saraswati River Basin. Approximate date is about 2500 before Common Era. The Rigvedic Richas I have cited here. One of the Richas says, Atma Yagnasya Samhya Shushvanaha Pavate Sutaha Eratnamni Pahati Kavyam. The principle of Yagna, the infusion of Soma, rose, with speed bringing blessings and maintain his ancient sea road. So this is an addendum to another monograph which details in the Rig Veda itself that Soma is a commodity which is purchased and certainly not a drink for the mortals. Chandogya Upanishad is very emphatic about this. There are indications that it seems to be a liquid flowing down, pavamana, slowly flowing, drop by drop. So whether it is a metaphorical reference to a metallurgical process is a hypothesis. Okay. Next, please. Caṣālayūpa is held by Brahma in his right hand, as shown in the Halebedu sculpture, shown together with Devi Saraswati. The three-faced image is clearly that of a Brahma. He holds the Caṣālayūpa. Caṣāla is a ring on top of a yupa, a pole, a pillar. This is a ketu of the yagna, which is a symbol of the yagna. Next, please. In Mesopotamian sculptural representations, there's some kind of a significance attached to a curved pole emerging from a railing, and on the way a pillar topped by a bird, and the staff held by some important person. These documents are referred to as kudurru in Mesopotamia, stone stele, which is a boundary marker used by Kassite rulers of Babylon to record land grants given to family members of high-ranking officials. The inscription often details recipients' military and administrative services written in cuneiform script. Next, please. The kudurru of the second year of the reign of Mardu Sakir Sumi records a religious bequest to Yena temple. The kudurru grants Ibn Ishtar, a Kalu priest of the temple of Yena in Uruk, land by Marduk Zakir Sumi, is dated to the second year of the Marduk Zakir Sumi. Inscribed Pa Zakir Mu, a reconstructed two king lists, the king of Babylon. Kudurru are entitlement steels of stone monuments associated with the temple. They document entitlements. They are not boundary markers. There are hieroglyphs or graphemes comparable to the Indus script graphemes on the kudurru. Fire altar, a black drongo bird, arrow, numeral strokes, 2 strokes, yupa skamba, aquatic bird atop a pillar. I suggest that this is a memory of Indus script which continues to be venerated among the Asur of Mesopotamian ancient Near East. For example, in the Indus script, a black drongo and fire altar are signified by the words Kanda, fire altar, a Vedi, and a black drongo followed. Next, please. Black drongo. In Telugu, it's very clear. Poladu, Poligadu, or Dudala Poludu. It's a bird which has split tail. It's called a Pasala Poligadu. That means the bird is often seen atop the bodies of cattle, removing the pests from the body. It's referred to as Decoding atter, a zoological name. So the Pasala Poligadu is Pasu is a cattle, Pasu Samuham. So it enjoys the smell of the cattle and saves the cattle from the pests. Pasigapu is a herdsman. Popokudu, Pasitendi. So Pasala Poligadu. Poligadu is a Pasala Poligadu, it's protector of the cattle. So it's a very important bird in the tradition of the lives of the farmers and agriculturists and cattle farmers. Pasala Vadu is a herdsman. What is the nature of the bird? It has got short legs, sits upright on thorny bushes, bare perches and electricity wires. They may also on perch on grazing animals, as we had seen. Bollard is a rape-smell sounding word in most of Europe. Alternatively spelled as Polad, Polat, Polat, Polad in Persian, a number of Slavic languages, Russian languages. Bolad refers to steel. So this bird, Poladu, is often signifier of Bolad, steel, in the Indus script tradition. We will see the Indus script evidences for the bird Poladu. Next, please. Poladu is a black drongo bird. Reverse word is Polad, steel. This word is mentioned in the Marathi language as Polada, steel, Poladi, of steel, Marathi. In the Persian tradition and also in the Pashto language, Polad refers to the finest kind of steel. Polad, Polad, Folad, all refer to steel. Different pronunciations like Polodi, 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 which is described in our archaeometallurgical texts as Loha Vishesham, a special metal of steel in the Ramayana. Poladu is an adjective made of steel in the Kashmiri language. Polad, Bulat is crucible steel. Shader gives a list of names of steel related to Persian, Polad, Syrian, Plud, Kurd, Pila, Pola, Polad, Polavat, Armenian, Polavat, Turkish, Pala, Russian, Bulat, Visagan, Polad, Bolat, Mongolian, Bolat, Bulat, Buryat. So it's remarkable that across entire Eurasia, this word Poladu with variant pronunciations occurs. Related to the word Poladu, the Telugu word, which refers to a black triangle. Father Muller pointed out that the Pahlavi in Armenian should be Polapat, suggested Greek much beaten as the original word. Not all the countries of Asia have been exalted in the search for similar names. We can add Tibetan Polat, Sulu Balan, Tagalog Patalim, Ilocano Paslim. See at once that the original word may lie to the east, maybe from somewhere within Bharat. Naturally, one thinks that China has a possible point of issue, maybe. For there was steel was known in the 3rd millennium before our era, and where the positive refers to steel in a Chinese writer of the 5th century before Common Era. In Catalan is like del folim, literally fire sickle. So this Polad word is very important in the ancient tradition. Next, please. There are many variations of this term, ranging from Persian Polad to Mongolian Bor, the Russian Bulat, Ukrainian Armenian Potavat, Turkish Arabic Farlad, Fulad, Urdu, Faulad, and Hindi. It is bewildering variety of descriptions that was used in the past that makes the study of the subject so challenging. So let's look at some of the images we have seen on the kudurru, kanda arrow, kanda implements, meruha, dula pair, tul metal casting, yupa skamba, with the ligature of a tiger at the top of the pillar, kola tiger, kul tiger, kolel smithy, kolhe smelter, kolle blacksmith, kol working in iron, kolel temple. Animal could also be a ram, as on the male shipak kudurru. The reading could be mindal barkor, meadow, ram, sheep, medet, bed, iron. So some relationship with iron, steel, or Mrudukara in Sanskritam, a thunderbolt. Mrudu becomes med in Santali language. Mrudu is a kind of iron. Next, please. So again, going to get back to on the kudurru, the fire pillar. He is in the Indian Indus tradition, the Dhaja. The rebus reading is Kammatam, coinage, Kammatam, coiner, mint. Karanda is a sword. The duck is Karanda, so rebus imagery, visual language. A hot alloy wine is Kannada. So there are associations with metalwork. It's obvious from the details given in the text, in the slide documentation. Kannada also refers to a scrawl, a memorandum scrap, writing system. Next, please. Here is a picture of a lion or a tiger with wings chasing a person linked with a fish, Mardukalpa. This is known as a detail on the kudurru of Mardukapla Indina. The tiger, edible in Miluga. Eraka is wing, Eraka is metal infusion. The goat, fish. Goat is male, black goat, Milaku copper. The fish is Aya fish, Aya's alloy metal. Then there's a snake flowing in the bottom of the frame. Funny, rebus market, or it could be cobra hood, fada, Rebus Pada Metals Manufacturing in Marathi. Next, please. So this remarkable association of the metallurgical wealth may be a signal of the relationship to the wealth recorded in the Marduk visual language representations in cuneiform. All are visual languages. Visual. So you can assign any word. There could be words in Akkadian, we do not know, but it seems to have some explanation possible in the Veluka terminology of metalwork. Next, please. So look at the number of symbols seen on the kudurru. Crescent moon, solar disk, 8-pointed star, lamp, and so on. Quite a number of these pictorials also occur on Indus-script corpora. Not all of them, some of them. Next, please. Ram-headed crook above a goatfish. Winged dragon sweating on hind part of the serpent. These are the characters. And the details are given in the documentation recorded in cuneiform text. There is some court officials receiving this information. Next, please. Now, we have seen on the kudurru a curved pillar coming out of a edge or a railing. This can be referred to as a Caṣālayūpa, a signal. It can also be equivalent to a medha, a symbolic name of the letter dha in Nigantu. Caṣālayūpa as medha refers to a valued object, wealth, riches. Dhanam. Medha is dhanam in Nigantu. So there is some relationship between the Caṣālayūpa, which is equivalent to a medha, and a pillar, signifying some kind of a dhanam. And associated again in inscriptions with a humped bull. This is from Vidarbha, Satavahana era coin. So now we are moving across millennia, but getting to imagery which are comparable. Okay, next please. Now in Anupgarh, in an archaeological setting, which is close to the Pakistan border of India, and Binjor is close to Anupgarh. At this point, the paleo channel of the river Saraswati shows a Beda, a split. One channel flows southwards towards Jaisalmer, one channel flows westwards toward Marot and into Cholistan desert of Pakistan. At this place called Binjor, Anupgarh, a remarkable fire altar was found, Yagnakunda. You can see the image. And in that Yagnakunda, a brick image was found that is called Caṣālayūpa, that is 8-cornered pillar. Okay, yeah. Yupa has been found, Caṣālayūpa. We will demonstrate that this Caṣālayūpa is a Caṣālayūpa. Next, please. Together with this fire altar, a seal was found. Something of a signifier of what the entire performance was about on this Yagnakunda. A 8-corner yupa has been found at Binjor together with the seal. What does the seal purpose? Point out. It shows the one-horned bull unicorn in front of a standard device, which we have seen in many places, is a treasure guard carrying a maritime cargo. On top of it is recorded the cargo. What does it read? The young bull, bull calf, konda. Konda is a turner, kunda. It also signify a konda, a circular hamlet village. Or it could also signify a kundana, rebus word, fine gold. Or kundanam, interspacing of gems. A gem setter. Kundanamu is fire gold in Telugu. Fine gold used in the very thin foils in setting precious stones. Skundanamu in Telugu. Then the lathe in front of the unicorn is Sangado. Gujarati. Sangara is a proclamation, civil sounding word. Sangara is trade. And the other civil sounding word is Jangat, which is wealth in treasury. Jangat is wealth in treasury, accounting of a mercantile transaction. So this lathe and portable furnace of Kamatamu seem to indicate some kind of a mercantile transaction. Next, please. Now let us look at the test script on this Binjor seal. There is a fish with fins enclosed within a 4 strokes circumscript. Fish split scales is ash, aya ash, amshu. Cognate word is anchu, ayan in Trocarian, amshu in Vedic. Then the fish is aya. So reverse word is aya, ayan Gujarati, or ayas alloy metal in Rigveda. Fish fin is kambata, fish fin. Similar sounding word is kambata, coinage, mint. So that's why the fish fin is shown signifying that it is related to some kind of a mint. It could be alloy metal mint, it could be coinage mint, we do not know. But the bador, a species of fish with bones, is also badai, carpenter, working wood. Badoria, exporting working wood. So these are 2 optional possibilities. One is from the mint or worker in wood. Then the circumscript 4 is ganda. So ganda is 4. Similar sound words, ganda implements. So metal implements from the mint seem to be signified by this symbol number 68, sign number 68. The 4 strokes are a reinforcement of the fact that is ganda 4, ganda metal implements. The next sign is sign 402, which is a flag. Rajapata is a flag. In Prakrit language, it's spelled out as pronounced as Dayavada. It's a flag. In old Gujarati, it's called Dayavada, as in Prakrit. Similar sounding word is Dawat, a smelter. So some smelter work is going on related to the work of a mint, alloy mint. Then there's a bird which seems to be a poladu with fork tail. Poladu, black drongo in Telugu. Similar sounding words, polad, steel. You've seen before. This same polad bird is sighted on Navshara pot with sitting on top of a zebu. Amazing, isn't it? So, Padara poladu. So, I submit that the zebu over which this poladu is sitting signifies a pola dos indicus, zebu. Similar sounding word is pola is a magnetite for 8 ore. Pola is magnetite ore, poladu is steel. Okay? That's how the word's derivation has taken place in the Bronze Age, Veluvan artisans. Rosary. Next, please. Now let's look at yupa. Yupa is such a dominating presence. Over 19 yupa inscriptions have been found together 19 yupas. In a number of places of Bharatam and also in East Borneo, which signifies a continuing Vedic tradition of using a octagonal yupa. So all these pillars, yupas are octagonal, like the Binjor yupa, 8-cornered yupa, signifying that the Homagna has been performed. This is a guarantor because the inscription point here is Homagna having been performed. For example, Isapur yupa inscription says Yagna was performed. Dwadasa Atra, 12 nights, Yagna was performed. And these have been very well documented in archaeological annual reports by J.P. Vogel, the then Archaeological Director General. Next, please. The caṣāla is on top of the pillar as a ring. Now, here is again a continuity of tradition. You see Saraswati shown on a caṣāla. What is a caṣāla? It's the snout of a Varaha. In the Varaha Pratima of Khajuraho, and also in Iran, Saraswati is shown on the snout, caṣāla of the Varaha. We have seen Caṣālayūpa is a yupa, a ring on top of a yupa. Caṣāla also means a snout. So on the snout, the knowledge system is being represented by the Saraswati Pratima. Now, on the Pratima of this Varaha, on the one leg is shown a makara, on top of which a blacksmith is at work. Amazing. So Damaka, a bellows blower, riding a makara, is shown on the Khajuraho Varahas. Many sculptural fragments sculpted into the monolithic Varaha. So some relationship to the Pada metals manufacturing seems to be a celebration of the alloying knowledge system in the Varaha Pratima of Khajuraho and Iran. So I'm referring to the continuity of the tradition. Saraswati and the caṣāla of Varaha. The snout of Varaha. Snout of the boar, sacred boar. And there are also Pada of a Bhoma Devi shown, Varaha. That Padada is footstep, Pada is metals manufacturing. So the Varaha and the bellows blower seem to be signifying some kind of wealth creating activity going on in the symbolism metaphor of the sculpture related to metalwork. Next, please. So, Chitra Lekhana of the Caṣālayūpa has been achieved in the Indus script tradition by the sacred hieroglyphs. Caṣāla, snout of a boar. Caṣāla also means infusion of carbon into molten metal to harden it. Can you believe this? Caṣāla is described in a number of ancient texts, Vedic texts, as an infusion of fumes of goduma into the fire altar to harden the metal that's being smelted in the fire altar. And the Vedic snout, the Varaha snout, is caṣāla. So Varaha Avatara is a description of the knowledge system of Vagdevi Saraswati working with caṣāla, snout of the boar. Caṣāla, the sounding word, relates to the yupa, yagna yupa. A wooden ring on top of the yagna post. A ring on top of the sacrificial post, Mahabharata. So caṣāla is again described in the Kataka Samhita as a wooden ring on top of the sacrificial post. Taittiriya Samhita also says the same thing. Satapada Brahmana says the same thing. Caṣālayūpa. So the Binjor find of a Caṣālayūpa is a Caṣālayūpa. Next, please. Now, such a yupa is celebrated in Amaravati. Amaravati stupa with the Nagas venerating the stupa. On top of the stupa is a very remarkable symbol of the fish fins. Two fish fins joined together. We have seen that fish fin is kamata, reverse kamata, coin or mint. So the mint is being celebrated. Mint on top of the pillar is a signifier. Metals manufacturing is taking place. What the footstep or pada? Pada footstep. So footstep plus the kamata, fish fins. So these are remarkable symbolic signifiers of the Indus script tradition, showing that metal manufacturing work is going on, being performed by these signifiers. You are holding nagas on their heads. They are naga artisans. Great people who are mentioned again and again in the Mahabharata tradition. This stamba, there's another way of skamba sukta. Relating this skamba as a remarkable pillar linking up the heaven and the earth. Metaphorical. It also signifies a Shivalinga. Tamba. Next, please. Footsteps Padada footstep. This tradition, which is sculpted in our tradition, in the Sanchi Stupa, Bharut Stupa, again venerating the padada of the footstep. Similar sounding word is pada, metal manufactory, patadai, smithy, patade, patada, anvil, patada workshop in Telugu. So, some metalwork tradition, some wealth creating activity. We have seen in Binjor, we have seen in this kudurru, we have seen in these sculptures, and we have also seen in Indus script. So, we can unify these traditions using this terminology, which are across our country's languages. You can see Padada has got a number of variant pronunciations. All referring to footsteps, footprint. Next, please. Footprints, footstairs, Barhut, sculptural frieze, steps of the Barhut. Why is the sculptor taking such pains to record this detail of a staircase over which this pada will step by step will go up? The stairs are relatable to a word, stairs, tree, ladder. Similar sounding word is set, held up a guild, stairs, tree, stairs, tin, held up a guild. So guild work is signified by these symbolisms. There's also a tree, so a venerated tree. Kuti is a tree. Kuti is a smelter. Gudi in Telugu is also a temple. Then there is a hedge. Vritti is a hedge. Vritti is profession. So Kuti Vritti, smelter profession, is going on in this sculptural narrative. Next, please. Feet, kambata, finfish, fish of fin, joined together, veneration, respect. And in the middle is the circle showing the petals. Of a flower. Tamarasa. Tamarasa is the lotus flower. Tamra. So, Tamra related work of a smithy, of a mint. Venerated pada, metals manufacturing. Next, please. How the Caṣālayūpa, these words, carry this message? Now, let me go through the Vedic text, which details the Caṣālayūpa installation process. It's referred to as 8-shaped octagonal yupa, specific. And it's set up the ladder. Come, let us go to heaven, says the Yajnika to his wife, Dharmapatni. Let us go up, mount up the stairs, Srishti. We have reached heaven when we reach the Caṣāla. What is that Caṣāla supposed to do? Or described also in the text. It's called a wheel in the horizontal position, Indrakila. Also is signified by similar adorned wheel. In Binjor, Sanjay Manjur and this team of students who found the Caṣālayūpa, 8-cornered yupa, is a Rigvedic tradition. So definitely a Soma Yajna has been performed there at Binjor. What is Caṣāla? It's described in the Vedic text as a Godoma, wheat shaft made into a circle and like a wheel and put on top of the pillar, yupa. Why this wheat shaft? And when the shaft is set on fire, it yields fumes. Those fumes are carbon. Carbonize the metal using carbon. Carbon is infused into the metal. So when iron is infused with carbon, it becomes steel. So this process of the Goduma set on fire, yielding fumes, is to infuse carbon into the molten iron or molten metal to harden it. And this is, yupa is called in Rigveda 3.8.8, Yagnasya Ketu. This is a symbol of the performance of a signature tour of a Yagna, Soma Yagna. And this caṣāla, the ring, is also called snout the Varaha. So now we can see why the sculptor has chosen the Varaha snout the boar to signify this story of the narrative of the caṣāla. Okay? Binjor for a Bazaar is a remarkable site discovery by Sanjay Manjul and the team of Archaeological Institute students. Next, please. Caṣālayūpa. Let's go deeper into this word. Caṣāla is a mortar-shaped top piece on sacrificial post. Yupa. Right from the Rigveda downwards, which is mentioned. Vedic text very clearly records it. All the citations are given. Wooden ring on top of the sacrificial post. Kataka Samhita, Taiti Samhita, as you've seen before. Caṣālavat, furnished the wooden ring at the top, Rigveda. Caṣālamukha, name of the Ekaha. That's the name of a particular sort of yagna. Caṣāla, a particular ornament of a sacrificial post. So this is Caṣālayūpa. Caṣāla on top of the yupa. Mahabharata. Next, please. Sadashiv Dange, a great scholar in Vedic studies, makes a fantastic statement about this Caṣālayūpa. The yupa is described as being the emblem of the sacrifice. Yagna Cheketo. Though it is fixed on the terrestrial plane of the sacrifice, it is expected to reach the path of the gods, divine heaven. That's about the many sacrificial posts fixed in the Pasubandha or the so-called Ashwamedha. It is said they actually provide the path for reaching the divinities. Devanam api yanti pataha. It's a pathway to reach the divine. They are invoked to carry the offerings to the divine beings, gods. They know Vyantu Varyam Devatra. Devatra. It's a prerogative of the fire god, who is acclaimed as the messenger, Duta. So fire is the messenger, taking our prayers to those divinities. Agnim Dutam Pranamahe. In what way is the yupa expected to carry the chosen offering to the gods? It is when the victim is tied to the sacrificial pole. So it's a metaphor. Metaphor, victim is tied, the pashu is tied, but it's not actual physical sacrifice. It's only a metaphorical sacrifice. So pashu is indicated as a participator in the yagna. The parallelism between the sacrificial fire and yupa is clear. The fire carries it through the smoke and flames. Yupa is believed to carry it before that. When the victim is tied to it, as its opponent is believed to touch heaven. A more vivid picture obtains at the Yajapiya Yagna. Here the yupa is 8-angled, corresponds to 8 quarters. Satvata Brahmana, Ashtasar yupa bhavati. The reason given is that the metric Gayatri has 8 letters in 1 foot. May not be applicable here. At Taitiya Samhita, a 4-angled yupa is prescribed. The 1 yupa is considered as touching 3 words: heaven, earth, and nether, subterranean. The portion that is above the caṣāla, made of wheat duff, Sattva Brahmana, Gaudhumam caṣālam bhavati. The wheat ring becomes the caṣāla, represents heaven. That's heaven. This is clear because it's infusing carbon into molten metal to make it hard, like steel. It's heaven. This is clear from the right. Ascending to the caṣāla made of wheat dough, the Vajapaya sacrifice. Yagna, the Yagnika descends to ascend to it, and with the help of a ladder, Israeli, and by doing so, calls upon his wife, come on, let us ascend to the heaven. And touches the caṣāla, let us, we have reached the heaven, O gods. The caṣāla is the pinnacle of achievement of the Yagna process. Next, please. caṣāla. According to Sayana, who explains Saitriya Samhita, sacrificer, the Agnika, stretches the hands upwards when he reaches the caṣāla and says, "Where is the gods and stay in heaven." You know the context of Achapeya? UP is erected. In Vasubandha, it's addressed for the earth, you, for the mid region, you, for heaven, you. So for all the three regions, you are the carrier. The ancestral portion of yupa is fixed in the pit, avata. And avata which represents subterranean regions, is the region of the ancestors. So the symbolism is incredibly ingrained into the entire process of the yajna process. In the region of the ancestors is the subterranean region. Yupa thus is axis, the axis mundi. It is the pillar that links up the heaven and earth. It gives rise to various myths, lot of narratives of a stupa varana. It's further developed into the churning of the staff of the mountain, Amrita Matanam, or the narrative of the Vasu Uparichara, when Indra is given his yashti, the dhwaja. The myth of the yashti was propagated in the Indra dhwaja, Nava Samhita. The Srota practice continues into the Indra dhwaja tradition, celebrated as a great festival in all the regions of Bharat. There is now another important angle to the yupa. Axis mundi stands erect. Uttara Veji indicates the upward move to heaven. This position is unique. Next, please. One takes into account the position of the Garhapatya and the Avaniya fireplaces. It gets clear that the march is from the earth to heaven, because Garhapatya is associated with the earth and it's a household fire, which takes us into the heavenly fire. Yupa is to the east, taking a rise heavenwards. This is by far the upward rise. But on the horizontal plane, Yupa is posted of inside, of outside the altar. Reason is that hereby controls the sacred region and also the secular region, both heaven and earth. Taittiriya Samhita. Dange explains it very beautifully in cleanings from the Vedic to Puranic age. The Sukta reads, explaining the entire yajna is a metaphor of golden tinted soma poured into a wooden bowl, a smelting process yielding weapons of war and transport and implements. So, a wealth creating process through this use of Caṣālayūpa. Next, please. Thesis is this. Somastamstha yajna is a metallurgical process of infusing carbon element into molten metal to order it. I am suggesting that this is a metaphor for this activity at a terrestrial plane. See, there are other planes in which they can frame the Rigveda as a sacred inquiry. But at a material plane, it seems to relate to metalwork. I submit that our Pitrus identified the material properties of molten metal, in awe and wondered at the cosmic phenomena which render mere earth and stone and processed in fire to be transformed into wealth products of exchange of value for trade, and also for use to make equipment, household metal weapons. The on monitor of new inventions in metallurgy by expressing the explicit chandas physical renderings as indications to the divine dispensations. The Rigveda authenticates the product was bargained and purchased in a barter transaction with the over-pirate merchants of Mount Buddhavan. It is not mere coincidence that the synonym of yoga is Amshu, finds a cognate in Truckarian Anshu, which means iron. It's also not mere coincidence that the cognate ancient Egyptian word Sem means electrum, that is gold-silver compound, mentioned by Joseph Needham in Science and Civilization in China. Next, please. Soma is a liquid form of ferric oxide. If soma is not a drink, what else is it? It's a liquid. It's a metaphor of something fluid. What could it be? I suggest it could be a liquid form of ferric oxide. Iron oxide or ferric oxide from Anshu Tocharian is hematite. Fe2O3, main source of iron for the steel industry. Another oxide of iron oxide, Fe3O4, also occurs naturally as mineral magnetite, often referred to as Bola, signified by Zebu, the Alpur bull, or the Brahmani bull. Several hydrates of iron oxides exist. The alkali is added to solutions of soluble ferric salts, red-brown gelatinous precipitate forms. This is not FeOH2, but Fe2O3 plus H2O, also written FeOOH. Several forms of the hydrated oxide of ferric exist as well. The red lepidolite occurs at the outside rusticles, and the orange goethite, which occurs internally in rusticles. This is metallurgical terminology. This is soluble in acids, giving FeH2O, all bracket 6. Next, please. In concentrated aqueous alkali, with the alkali, Oduma, and the fire sticks, another material that is used in the Yagna process, alkali material. In metallic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, they are described as blast furnaces using alkalis to produce pig iron. Label called stands for, and the process is comparable to what happens during the performance of Yagna. Air is blown with a blower to increase the oxygen required for the fire to be sustained in the furnace, the fire order. Next, please. So, liquid form of ferric oxide, purchased from the merchants, detailed given the references. Name of the people, Mujavant. Who are these? We don't know. Balikas, Gandharis are also mentioned together. Natharveda, Maitreya Samhita, Vajrayana Samhita, Nathavata Brahmana. Mujavant are the chosen as type of a distant folk, beyond which Rudra with his bow is entreated to depart. Bodha is asked to go there, to Mujavant. The Rigveda is so much described as Mojavata, coming from the Mujavants. Or Aska wrecks it as from Mount Mujavant, some mountain. Could be Himalayan ranges somewhere. The Indian commentators, Mahidara, on Vajrayana Samhita, Sayana, on Rigveda Samhita, and Bodha is Sautasutra, and described by Hillebrand in his Vedic mythology, agree that Yaska is taking the Mujavant is the name of a mountain. One of the lower hills of the southwest of Kashmir. Maybe, but it lacks evidence. So we are only making a guess about where the Mujavant is, okay? So the Kaumudi of Panini also refers to this Mujavata. Mujavant are variant pronunciations. Could be a mountain in the Himalayas. Could be in Turkmenistan, we don't know. Could be close to the place where Anchu was referred to in Tocharian language. Next, please. Soma is a liquid form of ferric oxide. This is the Rigveda. Wilson translation, let us see. Wrath, rattling dice, exhilarate me as torrent born on a precipice, flowing in a desert. Look at the metaphors. The exciting dice animate me. The dice is used for producing wealth, okay? Tanam. As the taste of the Soma of Mujavant, delight the gods. Flowing in a desert. Irina. Somewhere in the desert area, refer to the dice, rolling on the dice board. Exciting dice, Livitaka, this side of the Moirapalan. Mojavant, a mountain, where this best Soma is found. What is Goma? Vajrayana Samhita says, Dhruva is my food, is your food, Soma is your food. Depart beyond the Mojavant. With bow and string, with muffled staff, clothed in a garment made of skin, gracious, not harming us, depart. Go to Mujavant. Next, please. Mujavant is described in great detail in the Vedic index, with all the references. Where is it? Where is it located? So pinning this down could indicate the clear trade link that existed between the places where the yajna was performed and the places from which Soma was obtained. Next, please. Mrudu, softness. No, iron is very soft. It's almost like a liquid form. Mrudu. Iron is mrudu. The similar sounding word is med. It also is called, referred to as copper in Slavic languages, but med is iron in Mundarika and Hodo. That's called Melha word. Medet, iron. Medet Esana, iron is rusty. Ispat Medet, steel. Dur Medet, cast iron. Medet Kanda, iron implements. So Medet, med, Mrudu. These are the possible words that have been transformed in phonetically relating to the skin and iron, cast iron. Next, please. Here is a sculpture, Barhut sculpture, a Greek warrior uses the word Mrudu. The grace, how is word Mrudu contained? Grape of bunch he carries, grape bunch. Murdvika is a wine, grape wine. So the Mrudu is being mentioned. So this Greek soldier is carrying this Murdvika, Mrudu, iron. Iron sword that is hanging down on his left hand is the iron sword. Reddish grapes are indicated. Rigvedic terminology, Rigvedic Richa. One who has drunk this herb is Brahmanas know he's not a partaken drunk. It's a metaphor. No one partakes this. He performs a yajna. No one drinks it actually. It's only a metaphor of acquiring wealth. Next, please. Soma is a liquid form of ferric oxide because this twisted knot is also called Medha. Medha is a twisted knot. Medha is a yajna is shown in a copper plate inscription of Dhruva, Rashtrakuta, king of the Saka era 806, Epigraphica Indica. Why is Mrudu shown? Medha shown on this copper plate? Endless knot is the symbol. It's a very typical Indus symbol which appears in a number of copper plate inscriptions of Indus. We'll see that. This Medha is related to the sacrifice, a performance of a Soma Yagna. Is indicated by the Indus sign, endless knot. Next, please. How does Soma carbon become a hot alloy? Amshu and Angara. Amshu is Soma in the Rigvedic terminology. Anshu, iron. In Tokarian. Angar, Agnyar, Angar. Look at the 88 words for Angara. Charcoal. Angara is an important component of adding carbon. Charcoal component in this melting process. Charcoal. Please. Amshu plus Angara. Soma is described in great detail in this Vedic index. Very elaborate. So very carefully this has got to be gone through as Vedic texts that have been handed down to us from generation to generation. As very important documents of knowledge systems. Documents of incredible value producing wealth for the nation. Hard alloys, hard work, including fire. Kikatas are involved together with the Mojavans. Kikatas are merchants. Next, please. Look at the incredible amount of detail that is recorded in the text. Explaining the Soma as a process. So it's a very important activity, the Soma Yagna. Producing something of great value. We have got to record this metaphor and respect the tradition that's been handed down to us from generation to generation. Generated with a total respect. The Veda. Next, please. Let us look at some texts. It refers to a remarkable terminology called makshika. Makshika is a bird. It could be a bee. Makshika also means pyrites, iron pyrites, the pyrite ores. Could they be Soma? The Makshika being referred to as a metaphor, as a representation of Makshika pyrites. Makshika, the fly, or the honeybee, as described by Griffith. Makshika. Amshu. Makshika. Some relationship, a metaphors. Next, please. Metallurgical infusion of carbon takes place through Goduma, the caṣāla, the ring made of wheat chaff, earth smoke, Goduma, wheat, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, fumes of wheat chaff ring from Caṣālayūpa. They infuse carbon element into to harden mrudu iron in the Meda, Soma Yagna. Mrudu word gets varieties of modifications. It's always referred to as a kind of iron, soft fluid. Mrudu, but iron. Next, please. Amshu cognate, Indo-European, Tokarian, Anchu, iron. Georges Pennaud, the French linguist, clearly draws the comparison between Anchu and Amshu. This is the entry from the Tokarian dictionary. Anchu, Anchuat. Very specifically referring to it as an iron resource. Anchu. Cognate with Amshu, which is Soma in the Rigveda. Are we dealing with that material? Are we dealing with some kind of a wealth-creating activity of electrum, of asam? What are we dealing with? Next, please. Athapada Brahmana gives the details of the performance of Caṣālayūpa. Very precise, detailed descriptions of the shubha, the spoon that is used, the prayers that are accompany the offering of the ghee and the other oblations into fire. Six kliptis are offered. Pronouncing, may there be sacrifice, may there be prosperity, may there be success, may we get the wealth. So compare metaphors of the 6 seasons performed through the yagna process. Description given, detailed in the Natapa Brahmana, translated by Julius Eckering. Next, please. Prajapati, Gayatri meter, 8 syllables. wheaten headpiece is put on top, closest to Prajapati. The Ganapati, Prajapati is skinless. Among the plants, wheat comes nearest to man. Wheat. The post has a hollow at the top. It's not pointed at the end. On the hollow is sacred to the fathers. On that hollow is put that is the ring is put. Who does it? One of the Ritvits called Nestru. He leads up, sacrifices wife, makes a wrap around herself. Over the garment of the consecration, a cloth of skin made of kusha grass. Coming forward to propitiate the yagna. But impure that part of the woman which is below the navel, and pure is the plant of the kusha. Thus having this metaphor, the kusha grass. The kusha grass has alkalis going into the yagna process. Yagna, the Nestru, the Ritvich leads up the sacrificer, the Agnika, and this Dharmapatni wrapped up around herself with the garment of sacrifice, consecration of kusha grass. Next, please. Then the climbs of the ladder. You have seen that ladder in sculptures reaching up to the heavens. Touches the wheat top, the caṣāla. We have gone to the light. We have arrived at the light. It's in flame. Fumes are coming out. Food is one. So once that caṣāla is in action, when the fumes come out of the Gaudoma, the infusion of carbon is in process. We have become immortal. We have achieved it. We have performed a successful yagna. Next, please. Caṣālayūpa. Again, it looks at different directions, mutters, and offers prayers. Vajapaya wins everything here. Vajapaya yagna has been performed. We have stores in bags of salt. Salt means cattle. Cattle means food. It's out of food. Vajapaya wins food. That's the metaphor. Pieces of salt are done up in the Ashwatha, religious, ficus religiosa. The Ashwatha symbol we have seen as the ficus leaf, very common sign of the Indus script. He looks at the earth and what was homage to Mother Earth. Homage be to the Mother Earth. Mesopotami has been consecrated. The earth was afraid of him, thinking something great surely has he become now that he has been consecrated. Sarasvati was also afraid of the earth, thinking, I fear that she may shake me off. Hence, by that formula, he enters a friendly domain. Because mother does not hurt her son. A son does not hurt his mother. So, the winning of the process using Caṣālayūpa is complete. Next, please. Now, the Brihaspati consecration. Vajapaya, the details continue with use of the Udumbara wood, Udumbara tree sustenance, Avirdhana. This is kingship. I have achieved the Rajasuya. I am the ruler. There for the tilling. There for peace. D for thrift. So, production of wealth through tilling process. Production of wealth through this process of firework. And these prayers. Sitting on top of goat skin, Ajina, the Agnika has rendered its devotion to that fire giver of wealth. Glimile Purohitam. Next, please. These are the detailed references, footnotes, explaining some specific terminology like apti, obtaining of a gain, apaya swaha, when offering water as achamaniyam, mortar-shaped top piece fixed on the post. It's like a mortar, like a ring. So these are the explanations that are possible from the use of the words in the text. Next, please. According to the broad Krishna Yajurveda, as described by Sayana in Taittiriya Samhita commentary, sacrifices are ascended, as you have seen before in Dogge's presentation, achieved the heaven, achieved the arms to the heaven, praying, we have got the light to the gods who have become immortal. Amritasya putraha. The symbolic act of raising his head above the sacrificial post is symbolism. It's gone beyond the height of the post. It has achieved the top. Yamtorat. Mahidra explains it as addressed to the throne seat. So he has achieved. He has become a king. He has enthroned. He is installed. Investiture ceremony is complete. Like a king. Word Raj means something like the energy, Shakti of the symbol of the king. It could also mean a female divinity, Raj, Shakti. Next, please. He takes the spade. I take thee, the impulse of the divine. Outline the hole for the stake. No, he's digging a hole for putting the stake. Digs, throws up a beehive of earth towards the east. Throws barley corns with it. Sprinkles water on the hole as the sacrificial post is being fixed. Next, please. Then strews barley grass. Throws the chips on the stake. Then pours ghee, dripping spoon. They're all symbolic activities that are going on. So that the evil spirits should rise from below. Ghee is a thunderbolt. Anoints the stake. Next, please. Anoints the stake. The divine Savitri were anointed with the sweet milk, top to bottom, facing the fire, rises with it. With thy crest, thou hast touched the sky. With thy middle, thou hast filled the air. With thy foot, thou hast steadied the earth. Then plants it in. To what resorts of thine we belong to? Go where the swift-footed, many-horned kind. We have achieved Vishnu's highest mighty footstep. Vishnu. We have achieved the thunderbolt, the sacrificial stake. Is a thunderbolt. Next, please. That corner facing the fire, he places opposite the fire. He touches the fire. See the deeds of Vishnu, where he beheld the sacred ordinances. He is the friend of Indra. Looks up at the top ring, the caṣāla, the highest step of Vishnu, fixed like an eye in the heavens. You look at all the metaphors related to the caṣāla. He girds up the stake, the rope of kusha grass. Next, please. Triple rope of kusha grass. He grips it. He inserts the tip of the stake under the rope. You are the sun of the sky. The tip of the stake is made on the sun to the heavenly world. This is the girdle rope. With that part of it which is dug in, he gains the world of the fathers. And what is above the dug in part Up to the girdle rope, the gains of the world of men. What is above the rope? Up to the ring, the gains the heavens. Of 2 or 3 fingers breadth above the top ring. They are the divine. Next, please. Description goes on. The 4-part of the fire altar. The yagna continues. Sipping the sap of sacrifice. The 8-corner Gayatri, symbol of the 8-corner yupa. The symbol of the 8 directions of the earth, the cosmos. The gods, the divinities were thrown after the prastara into the fire. They think, oh, the divinity did it. Thereupon the Rakshas slipped the sacrifice after the gods. God said to the Dharyu, offer thou only a chip of the stake. Thereby this will be with good speed. The Dharyu then offered up only a chip of the stake with good speed. Good speed. The sky is achieved. Sky to the heavens. Next, please. The details of the terminology are explained in the footnotes. The girdling is preserved by a cord to the hotru, to say to the post be anointed. So very precise activity is going on with an incredible amount of responsibility of the Advaryu and the Rithits who are performing this sacred tryst with destiny of acquiring the heaven, acquiring the Amritattva, immortality. Look at the metaphors of reaching to heights of cosmic inquiry from a material plane. Next, please. Now you can see the activities taking place in a very sacred space, the Agni Kshetra, which are very described in great detail in our texts and also in the Silpa Shastras of how the entire process of the space is organized for the performance of the sacred yagna. Very precise computations, geometry. Next, please. The text describes the details of the yupa. Yupa is divine. Yupa is deified in these rituals. These are the Vishwamitra Ghatina Suktas. Next, please. Translation of that Rigvedic richa. Yupa Kataka, Yupa. Yupa Kataka is a wooden ring on top of the Yupa. That's caṣāla. Another name is Yupa Kataka. You can see the translation. Invoking the Adityas, the Rudras, the Vasus, heaven and earth, the firmament, garments, Sarasvati. Next, please. Satvata Brahmana explains the details. Yupa Rohanam. How you climb up the Yupa. It's not a physical climb, it's a metaphorical climb. So as you perform the process of the yagna, you just visualize or imagine for yourself. See the vision of the process of moving from the earth to heaven. That is the symbolism and the metaphor that is achieved in text of Vedic rendering. Next, please. Asayupaya Takshati. Now look at the physical aspects of the Yagupa. Taksha, The Twashta and the Taksha, the carpenter, create the yupa. They chisel the yupa. They make the 8 corners of the yupa. They create the Ashtashti yupa. It's artisans' contribution. So artisans also are sacrificers. They are not part of the sacrifice. They are not the sacrificial people. No. They are part of the entire process of Yajna. Yajna process is composed of both the artisans and the religious and the sacrificer, Yagnika. All are put together. So the wild animals and all that are represented as the Pashus tied to the Yupas, number of Yupas in the Yajna Kshetra, are all metaphors. Related to the participation of all the groups of resource activities is also indicated by these Pashus. They are resource indicators. 260 wild animals are described. They are all metaphors of variety of ways in which the earth can be obtained. Useful material can be created. Houseware can be made. Implements can be made. That a single post, one caṣāla, Takshati, caṣāla, a wooden ring, a bracelet on top of the sacrificial post. 609 animals are involved. One sacrificial post. The others are only posts are tied just to indicate the animals, resources. Next, please. Again, let's go into the metaphors of the Asva-Yupaya Takshati. Wilson translates this. Entire in all parts and guided to the rings, they appear upon the earth like the horns of a horned cattle, bearing their prizes by the priests, may they protect us in battle. So the incredible metaphors of the Barhishta, the strewn grasses. Superlatives of the Brihat, the largest and the strongest. Very variety of kinds of grass. Strengthening the entire process of the Prudhipyam, Brihat, Barhishta, Barhis is grass. Caṣāla Prithvivyam. Next, please. Caṣāla is a metaphor of the penetrating sounding fragrant grass. The grass itself makes waves and sounds. They are Swaravat, vocal, with their own roots, with grass and with thorns that have been loosened. This is how Sayana Bhasha explains it. They just look perfect or even in the air. Various kinds of yagnas are offered here. The yagna is called Vihava, sky air. In that yagna, the priests are involved in the yagna. Vagato, penetrating. As they listened, they heard the sound of praise being uttered by them. Such altars are used in the military kingdoms. The word Pratanyatarajya is a word for war. So we have got the war metaphors, battle metaphors. They have the battles of Pratanajya in the Ajav, in the battles of the army. Protect us, the horns, the shrew in violence, and free from Shrunati. Next, please. Asva-Yupaya Takshati. Graphemes translates, Lord of the wood, rise with 100 branches, with 1,000 branches, may we rise to greatness. Thou whom this hatchet, with an urge well petted, for great felicity, has brought before us. Sayana Bhashyam, I have detailed. Next, please. Caṣāla, Yupakataka, Kumbha, Yupagra, Kashika Sarata Sutra. Caṣāla is described. Yupakataka, the ring on top of the Yupa or Caṣāla. Next, please. Caṣālayūpa Takshati. Caṣāla is described. Ekeling's translation in the Satapada Brahmana, Rigveda, Taittiriya Samhita, Kataka Samhita, Maitrayana Samhita, all refer to these details. Next, please. Fire God said, words denouncing genealogy of Vamsha. And Caṣāla is this wooden ring on top of sacrificial post. Sthandilam, Chatvaram are synonyms. The ground ready-made for sacrifice. Next, please. Caṣāla, Bharadwaja South Sutra details the entire process. Again and again and again, the metaphors are reinforced by this great oral tradition of the performance of a great yagna, a Soma yagna. This is described by Kashikar in Bharadwaja South Sutra translation. Next, please. Further translations, how the sacrifice should come to an end in the prescribed manner. How Yajnan, Vadana, how the sounds of the sacrifice are recorded. How the metaphors of the animal sacrifices, animal yagnas are detailed. Next, please. The terminology is explained in the footnotes. Aratni is an optional word. 5 aratnis. The height of the sacrificer standing with the raised hands to indicate the height of the stupa. How the Advaryu performs the yagna process involving the animals, tying them up to the stakes. Apastama Sutra often mentions the measurements of the aratni. 6 aratnis long, 3 aratnis broad towards the front, and 4 aratnis in the rear. It's a measurement unit. Next, please. Details are recorded in the Kashikar's Bharadwaja South Sutra. Next, please. More details recorded. How the Kshatriyahood was achieved, the Shatra strengthened, how the earth breaks the cloud in the sky, and how you move up, how Vishnu strode over this world with 3 steps. So the metaphors are beautifully recorded in the texts, which also detail the role of the Darbha grass. Next, please. References to the text from which these references have been drawn. Next, please. Now we see the importance of this stupa, the rod over which this standard device in front of the unicorn is recorded. It's a sangada, a joining of parts. Similar sounding word is Jangadiyo, a military guard who accompanies the treasure. In Malayalam, it's called Jangadam, an iron guide responsible convoy guard. Jangada also means maritime cargo. Jangada also means an invoice for approval basis. So mercantile terms, maritime terms, symbolism of the stupa, yupa. Next, please.
Sir, the presentation is completed.
Yeah, now we conclude. The significance of the Caṣālayūpa. You see how the metaphors of very profound inquiry by artisans, artificers, and the singers, with just astounded by the cosmic phenomena that are surrounding them. You take mere small earth and stones, put them through the fire, and out comes some wealth, something of value, which enables us to create equipment, plowshares, sickles, swords, to live, to life activities. So this incredible process of documenting in metaphors is on one side the oral tradition of the Vedic richas and the mantras, and on the other side the work activity documented in the inscriptions of the Indus seals. Yeah, wealth creating activity is going on through trade and commerce, through production activity, through metallurgical activity. See, they're all metaphors seem to unite. So we create an integrated narrative of the process of yajna as a process of life itself, where we try to achieve the pinnacle of our total competence. Our fullest competence can be achieved if we endeavor and use the divine routes, paths that are available to us to reach the heavens. We can achieve mortality. So that is the resounding dictum that is given by our traditional ancestors as parts of inquiry process which enable them to gain knowledge systems signified by the yupa held by Brahma in the great sculpture which was from Halabidu of Brahma and Sarasvati together. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session, and we learned so much about Caṣālayūpa. We will meet again in the next week. Until then, please stay tuned. And also, please subscribe us. Please like the video and share with your friends. This is a very good, useful knowledge for our generations. I'm ending the stream right now. We will meet next week, same time, same live. Thank you very much, sir.
Namaskar.